Come to the table and worship the Savior. Taste what forgiveness is for.
Hey everybody, good to see you. I'm going to take this mask off so I can communicate just a little bit better with you. I want to tell you that we are so excited that on June the 28th, we get to come back to church for the first time since way back in March sometime. And so we're really excited about that. There's been a reopening committee, a task force that's been working to plan for this day and working in close association with the elders and ministers. And so today the purpose of this video is just to be able to tell you some things that you're going to see when you walk in the building that's going to be a little different, just to kind of communicate how it's going to be, what it's going to look like, so that you'll feel more comfortable when we come back together. We want you to know that when we meet on June the 28th, we know that not everyone is going to be able to come. And some have even told me, I'm not planning on coming back to begin with. And that's okay. We want you to understand that is okay, especially if you fit into that demographic where you're more high risk. We would encourage you to take precautions. And if you feel like you need to stay at home, then by all means do that. We're going to continue to broadcast our service online. You can go to our website or you can go to Facebook Live, and you'll be able to still participate virtually from home, and you'll be able to see those who have come together in the building to do that. So we're really excited about it. Watch this video, learn, see what things are going to look like when we come back together. I can't wait to see you.
So when you first arrive at Waterview, you'll be able to park in any of our 3 parking lots, and all the entrances that will be open, there are 4, will be clearly marked, and those entrances that are closed will be clearly marked as well. The 4 entrances that will be open are as follows. The main entrance off the Circle Drive, the South Nursery entrance, the West Foyer entrance, and finally the North entrance.
Hey guys, so we're so ready for everyone to be back at the church, and we are going to have greeters out here to have a warm welcome for you guys, and as well we have touchless thermometers that we're going to check your temperature with.
If you don't have a mask, we'll have masks to offer. We highly encourage them. And then from here, we'll ask you to head directly to the auditorium.
Hey guys, and when you return, if there are medical concerns, we want you to know that we have Dr. Jerry Barker and Dr. Bill Shoemate. They'll be here to answer some of your questions if you have any concerns.
During this first phase of reopening, several areas of the building will remain closed, such as the upstairs classrooms, the preschool wing, and also the family room and cry room. If you need to take your kid out during services, feel free to walk around the foyer.
Hey everybody, while I'm in the foyer, I'm going to tell you about some of the things you would want to know here. We have several restrooms that are open, a few of them are closed, so you'll want to know that the family restroom is available right beside the auditorium if you need. The training room does need to stay closed, but the family restroom is open. Another couple of the restrooms that are open are the men's restroom over here by the library and the men's and women's restroom, once again closest to the auditorium. We will also have our water fountains closed for right now. I need to turn those off. So we would recommend, if you need water, go ahead and bring some water. We do have some available here if you do need in individual bottles. So as we're approaching the auditorium, I want to show you a couple other things you'll need before you enter the auditorium. Before you enter, you will want to have your communion supplies. I realize some people want to bring some of theirs from home if they're having some trouble opening this, but grab your communion kit. And also at some point, if you want to give as part of our contribution, we have these boxes available for you to drop a check, cash, whatever's needed here. But as always, we also have the option for online giving, or your bank can send your contribution, whatever is most convenient. But if you feel better doing that here, once again, these new black boxes by the communion kits are available for you to drop in your contribution.
Once you enter the building, an usher will lead you inside the auditorium And this is what it's going to look like once you are in. We'll have roped off pews to indicate what pews you are going to be able to sit in. Then the ushers are going to help you keep social distancing seating. If you arrive in a car together, then you can probably sit together. You can work with the usher for families with kids. They will seat you at the end of the pew.
Our worship experience is going to be a little different. You've probably already thought about that. But nevertheless, some things that we would like to make you aware of. For instance, when I get up here at the podium, I will not be wearing a mask. So Jason will not be preaching with a mask. Anybody making announcements or anything like that, or leading singing for me, we will not be wearing masks because we're at a significant distance from the people in the pews. We're not worried about transmission of disease. So our fellowship time is also going to look a little bit different. Ordinarily, we will have a meet and greet opportunity where we go and shake hands, but because of the social distancing, we will be forgoing that for the time being. And at the end of service, we'll just ask that you take your opportunity to fellowship outside where the air is fresh. So you'll also notice in our pews, on the backs of the pews, you normally would see cards to fill out or songbooks. Those things will also be gone to limit things that we'll be touching. Now, while I will not be wearing a mask leading singing, we will ask that you go ahead and wear your mask during our singing time. And that may be a little bit uncomfortable, and we recognize that. But we just ask that you would work with us on that. In addition to that, one of our pieces of worship is communion. It will look different as well. We're not going to be passing trays. We'll have those individual communion kits for you, and we'll have somebody leading us in thoughts and prayers for that, and then we'll take it individually from our seats because you'll already have those. And then our contribution will also look different. We will have boxes in the foyer for you, and you can still give online or you can send in a check, however you choose to do that. And then, of course, we'll close our service in prayer, and that will be done by one of our shepherds. They will be making a couple of announcements and closing us in prayer as we leave that day.
Once services are over, please wait to be dismissed. Ushers will empty the auditorium from back to front. Once you leave the auditorium, please continue on to the parking lot for fellowship, and please abide by social distancing guidelines. And remember, do not congregate in the foyer after services.
Okay, folks, that's the end of this video, but we want you to know that we're so excited that we're going to get to come back together and worship with each other on June the 28th. We want to remind you that things are going to look different. You probably have already witnessed that in this video. Things will be different. So we're asking for all of us to be patient with one another, to be flexible, and above all, to use the measuring stick for Christianity, love. Let's love one another. Let's look to the best interest of others, not looking for our own interest, but the interest of others, as Paul said, Philippians 2 and verse 4. We want to thank you for being patient with us during this time, and we want to thank you for being a part of the Waterview family. We love you, and we can't wait to see you June 28th.
His mercy will lead us, the grace of God feed us, making us hungry for more. His body was given for you and for me. Look on the cross and believe. The bread has been broken. Our eyes have been